All right, thanks, Ben. On this Veterans Day weekend, we go from Army to Air Force. The cadets are here. The game ball's delivered, ready to go. Air Force and New Mexico. CBS Sports Network presents Mountain West football in Colorado Springs at the Academy. We've got Lobos, we've got Falcons. Neither of these teams are playing for a Mountain Division title, but they are both still bowl eligible. Hi everybody, I'm Rich Waltz along with Aaron Murray. Gorgeous day here in Colorado Springs, and we spent time with both head coaches this week. They don't like their records, but they've imparted on their teams that you win this game, this could jumpstart you towards a bowl game.
Well, Rich, watching the season for both these squads, they've had opportunities to get to that 4th, 5th, and 6th win, but you said the most important thing right now is getting to that magic number, and that is 6. Get to that, and you have a chance to go to a bowl game. Send your seniors out in the right way. That's what you want to do as an underclassman, a freshman, sophomore, junior. You want to send your seniors out, opportunity to go to a bowl game. They're a lot of fun. I've been to a lot of very exciting ones, but it starts today. You got to get that 4th win and then use that as momentum to finish the season off strong.
This is a tale of two offenses in this game. Now, Bob Davie at New Mexico used to run the triple option. They scrapped it in the offseason. They run a spread attack. Colton Gearhart triggers that today.
Yeah, and he does a great job. I think he's gaining confidence, Rich, each and every week. Hurt his foot that first game of the season. He's more of a dual threat quarterback, but I like his anticipation, his ability to see it right here, utilize his eyes, his shoulders, get the DBs to jump, and then great touch down the field. And then once again, he sees the one-on-one, big, tall receiver on the outside. Let me just give him a chance to make a play. I want to see him take that next step in tonight's game with his arm.
All right, Air Force runs the triple option, and they run it as well as anybody in the country. And when you talk triple option and Air Force, you focus on the quarterbacks, but we have to focus on 2 because we're not quite sure who's going to start, and we think both will play.
I definitely think both are going to play, and both have done a tremendous job. And you think Air Force, Rich, you think the triple option, obviously the quarterback usually running it, handing it to the fullback or taking it himself. But both these guys, Isaiah Sanders and Donald Hammond III, can throw the ball vertically down the field. It's exciting watching them. It's going to keep the defense honest because you can't be so heavy downhill. So we're going to see a rotation, but I like what both of them can do.
And you know what? Both head coaches told us this week, I can't believe we've played and started 3 quarterbacks each. With more on that, Amanda Balionis. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Rich. It's a very unique situation considering the fact that only 5 teams in the nation have started 3 or more different quarterbacks throughout the season. 2 of them, of course, are facing off today. So I spoke with Troy Calhoun from Air Force about how do you prepare when you're not sure who's going to be under center for the opposition. And he said, you know, the great thing is for the Lobos, the quarterbacks might be completely different in stature, but what they bring in their skill set is pretty similar. So preparation pretty consistent no matter who it's going to be. On the for the Lobos side, though, Coach Davie telling us it's not so much who's going to be under center, it's what they bring to the table that we're not used to seeing. Of course, both quarterbacks can command this triple option, but they also both can throw, which is not something that we usually see from Air Force. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
And the most important thing, yeah, F-35 Lightnings. Can't come to Air Force without a flyover like that. Aaron Murray back up off the floor now with his keys to the game.
Yeah, I think looking at this football game, Rich, the key for the Lobos, use the entire field. Use your speed to beat the Air Force defense and then stop the fullback dive. That is key defensively. And then for the Air Force Falcons, we talk about these quarterbacks. Both of them can throw the ball down the field. I want to see if they can get over 60% for the entire game. And then defensively, create pressure on Gearhart in the pocket. Make him uncomfortable. Move him off his spot. And that should help this defense going forward throughout this football game.
You see all the cadets are seated and ready to go. This is absolutely gorgeous weather for this part of the year. 58 degrees, not much wind, it is sunny, and a 1:30 local kickoff. Absolutely perfect. These men and women who serve us so well on this Veterans Day weekend, we salute all of you in the military. They were out and about, tailgating, getting ready for this with New Mexico and Air Force. Danny Sutton ready to kick. Joseph Saucier is deep for the Falcons. close loss last week for New Mexico. And they lost to San Diego State and Albuquerque. And of course, Air Force lost a tight one at Army. Saucier watches it sail into the end zone. And away we go in the Mountain West. Bring on the cow. Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Let's start with the starting quarterback. There he is.
Yeah, the decision has been made. Donald Hammond third, and we talked about it, Rich. I like the way he handles this offense. Obviously, he has the ability to run the true triple option, read it, pitch it, all that great stuff. But I want to see his mechanics, and everyone on TV watch as well. He can throw the ball. He is a cannon for an arm. He can stretch it vertically down the field.
First play, Taven Burdo gets the carry. And that's a key for the Air Force offense. Burdo gets the start. Cole Fagan is banged up a bit.
Yeah, and we were talking with Kevin Cosgrove, DC for the Lobos, and his goal, keep the fullback under 4 yards per carry. Right now, Taven Burdo's at 4.7. If you're able to get 4+ yards, you're going to get first downs, you're going to move the ball, and then you're going to keep your defense off the field, most importantly.
Air Force runs for 240 a game. As you noted, they can throw the ball, and Hammond's going to keep, and he fights his way out across the 35. That's a first down. Cody Baker made the stop for this New Mexico defense. The strong safeties, there's a lot of pressure on them with this option.
It's all about the eyes, Rich. Have your eyes in the right position. There's going to be shifts, movement, all that great stuff from this Air Force offense. Make sure you're locked into your keys. You're downhill to stop the run, but you got to be careful. They're going to take some shots downfield as well.
First and 10, and Hammond keeps and busts it loose. Cross midfield into Lobo territory, slides down to the 46. D'Angelo Ross made the stop, 18 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, there's just so much to look for defensively right now. You're worried about the fullback dive, you're worried about the pitch, and then we talk about now there's a new dynamic of these quarterbacks throwing the ball down the field. There's a lot going through the minds of these defenders.
No throws yet. This is Caden Remsburg. And Remsburg's going to pick up 6 yards down to the 40-yard line. Air Force's offense last week stalled in the first half against Army. That was Isaiah Sanders' first half. Hammond came in relief, and Hammond gets the start. But we've been told we will see Sanders play as well.
Yeah, and Hammond had a good second half last week, 7 of 15, 120 yards, and 33 yards rushing on the ground. So going to have the full game today. It'll be interesting to see, like you said, Rich, if Isaiah Sanders does come in sparingly throughout the football game.
First possession, Air Force on the move. Burdo straight ahead, the junior out of Altus, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and already this is what we want to see. This is what Air Force wants to do. Establish the run, obviously get it going, wear down the defense, and then get into third and short, because we know this triple option, you can get 1, 2, 3 yards every single time. You get to third and short, you get the fourth and short, they're most likely going to go for it.
Well, this is third down and a short 3. Option kept, trouble, bounced outside. Hammond's going to lose yardage. Big play by New Mexico. And third and short turns into fourth and forever.
Yeah, and that's what you can't do. We understand that they're going to go for it most likely on fourth down. If it's fourth and 2 to 3, as a quarterback, you have to understand, take it, get what you can get, because in your mind, you understand this is 4-down territory.
Michael Sewell Jr. and Jordan Flack made that play. Down on the field right now, that looks like Cody Baker, the senior defensive end. Air Force is actually going to get a break on the spot of this. They're going to say his forward progress was only 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. There's a look at Baker. Issaquah, Washington. And he's up on his feet. So it's going to be only a loss of 2, but certainly it goes from 4th and 3 to 4th and about 5.
I still think, Rich, this is 4-down territory, just where you are on the football field within the 40-yard line. But this is the benefit now of having a quarterback who can throw the football. You're not worried in handcuffs saying, we got to get 4 or 5 yards on the ground. We feel comfortable as an offense of taking a drop back, 3-step, 5-step, whatever it may be, and our guys have been accurate throwing the football, getting first downs, not with their legs, but with their arm.
And the benefit of that spot makes it 4th down and a long 4. They are still getting Baker to the sideline. See Air Force on 4th down, very good. And nobody goes for it more than Air Force does. 33 attempts on 4th down this year.
Well, that's because they get to 4th and short a ton based on the scheme they run offensively.
Hard count. Hammond looks to the sideline. Got to get to the 36. On the pitch, Remsburg, I'm not sure. He's right on the sticks. The Air Force sideline feels he has it, and he does.
Yeah, it's a great job, just extending enough. You see it right here, one-on-one open field. He does a great job. I want you to watch the left arm stays off the ground. The elbow does not touch, and then he extends with the right ball, the arm in the right ball, and does a great job getting this first down.
Remsburg, a sophomore out of Newton, Kansas, and it keeps the drive alive. 4th down conversion, pitch, Remsburg outside, has the edge to the 20, cuts back, and he's wrestled down at the 17-yard line. Caden Remsburg from Donald Hammond. It's 19 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, it's a great move right here. I want to see a little juke. D'Angelo Rosso, you have to understand, you have no outside help right here. Go for the outside, funnel everything back into the inside. You got linebackers, you got safeties coming in there. But once you hit the outside, there's no one but the sideline to stop him. That's a great run to get this ball inside the red zone for the first down.
9th play of the drive. Opening possession in the Mountain West, Air Force in New Mexico. No pitch man there. He has to take a left turn, and Hammond scampers out of bounds.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there, Rich. There was no pitch man. He had to just take it himself. But Hammond at 6'2", 210 pounds. You see it. He has his size. He has some good strength. He's tough to take down. He is pretty elusive running the football as well.
It's a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9. At the New Mexico 16-yard line. Christian Mallard, touchdown Air Force. 16 yards.
Yeah, it's a great job right here. You see the offensive line getting up, but most importantly, you see the safeties for this New Mexico team. Everyone's going to get the pitch. Everyone's going after the quarterback, and then boom, Christian Mallard, the fullback, sneaks out from right to left. No one there to stop him, and that is a tremendous job, Rich. That's a great first possession, converting on 4th down, and then putting 7 points on the board.
What a terrific start for the offense, and that offensive line, methodical down the fields. 75 yards, and Mallard finishes.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. By Golden Corral, your choice rules. And by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
How cool is this? Learning space by doing space. It's the motto of the Academy's unique Falcon Satellite Senior Capstone Engineering Program. These are students that help design, build, test, launch, and operate small satellites for real Department of Defense missions. Impressive stuff. And you can see in that first drive, Troy Calhoun, he ran the triple option as a quarterback here at one point at Air Force. Now the head coach, 10 plays, 75 yards. And Christian Mallard's 16-yard run finishes an Air Force drive. Into the end zone. And now we take a look back at that touchdown run.
Yeah, we're just going to go back to the 4th down conversion right here. Great job. Air Force is going to put you in one-on-one situations. I want you to focus on the cornerback, Jalen Burrell, right here. One-on-one, you have to make these plays. But great job, better effort by Air Force, better effort by Caden Remsburg, getting the first down, extending the drive, and then being able to put 7 points on the board afterwards.
First touch for New Mexico. Out of the gun in a spread offense, Tyrone Owens gets the first carry, and Owens is out to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4. What does Colton Gerhardt do well?
I think he's a competitor. You turn on the film, he wants to win football games, throwing it, running it. Obviously, the sprained foot to start the season off has hurt him a little bit, but he's getting healthier, so his ability, like I said, not only throw the football, but be a runner is dangerous.
Fires it out to Jay Griffin, the 4th, and Air Force is all over it. Really nice play there by Grant Thiel. New Mexico's offense will focus on their running back, Tyrone Owens.
Yeah, Tyrone Owens been battling a little bit of a knee injury throughout this season. He does a great job getting to the edge, getting outside, utilizing his speed. Coaches want to see him hit it down the middle, trust his offensive alignment, and when there's a hole between the guard and tackle, take it.
3rd down 7. Gerhardt flushed on the run. And over the middle, a diving catch there. Delane Hart-Johnson. There were 2 receivers in the pattern.
Yeah, it's a great job. We talked about his feet, Colton being able to utilize it, move around. And that's a great job, keeping his head up. Sometimes when you see quarterbacks move in the pocket, their eyes drop, they don't look there downfield. Great job maneuvering around, finding his receiver, and that's a great football throw down the field. And Rich, he takes a shot too, right in the chest afterwards.
On the field is Zane Lewis. He was in coverage. Watching that catch by Hart-Johnson, he did hit the turf with the ball, but it looked like he had a hand under the ball, and it was secure. No indication of a review, and a big 38-yard play for this New Mexico offense.
Yeah, he looks, looking at replays up here, Rich, looks like he cradles it. We'll get a good view right here. Catch, does a great job. That's a catch, secures it. You see with that left arm tucked right around it. And that's a big play for this offense. Gain some momentum back on their side of the football after Air Force is able to drive the length of the field to get the 7 points.
33-yard line of Air Force. Opening drive for New Mexico. Air Force went 75 with their first touch. Gerhardt on the run, and he fires it high for Elijah Lilly. Defensively for Air Force, Jeremy Fedulum is having a terrific season.
No, he has been all over the football field, Rich. Against the run and the pass, 3 straight games with 10+ tackles. He's going to be matched up with some very speedy slot receivers. He just needs to make sure everything stays in front of him. No deep balls like we saw a couple plays ago.
Quick throw, little screen. It's Lilly, and he's stuffed at the 32. Parker Noren made the stop.
Yeah, we're seeing right now initially a very base defense for Air Force, but throughout this ball game, you're going to see they're going to make New Mexico take some shots. They're going to get up, play man-to-man coverage, test them with some exotic blitzes, cross dogs, slot blitzes with the nickel backs. They want to create pressure and make Gerhardt feel uncomfortable in the pocket.
High snap, blitz comes. Gerhardt is clobbered, ball is loose, and wrestling for it is Air Force in New Mexico. Boy, the Lobos have had quarterback injuries all season long. Gerhardt really took a shot here.
Yeah, he did. It's a great job by Air Force. We just talked about it. Creating pressure, bringing the blitz. Both linebackers coming, especially in that fringe zone, Rich. If you're kind of in field goal range, that's usually when a defense wants to bring the heat, knock you out, and force you to punt the football.
Parker Noren with the hit on Gerhardt. Jared Sylvester of New Mexico, the left tackle, recovered the fumble. And it obviously knocks them way out of field goal range. And so Tyson Dyer will kick it end over end, trying to check it up. It's deflected. Oh, goodness. The back judge took a hit, but that ball is into the end zone, and that should be a touchback. It's a contact sport, even for the gentleman wearing stripes. And it was a touchback, albeit a painful one.
Welcome back into Falcon Stadium, where Air Force is currently leading New Mexico 7-0. And one of the biggest stories leading into this week was not about a football player. It was actually about one of their mascots. That's right, Aurora the Falcon for Air Force, 22 years old. She was injured in a prank that went really wrong last week against Army, and there was even talks because of her age and the injuries to her wings that she might have to be euthanized. But as you can see here, I might or might not have a massive fear of birds, but we were very worried about her, so we went to go check up on her yesterday, and she is going to be just fine. She is not here at the game today. When you talk to her trainers, they said, you know, her injuries are more like a scraped knee, but because of her age, we just weren't sure how she was going to recover, but all great news for Aurora.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Donald Hammond with the carry. Now, look, Amanda, we just saw that video. You were about 4 feet away from Aurora. And I've got to tell everybody out there, you are a very brave person, because you're not a bird fan, and that's a scary bird. But you guys, you did a little petting, you bonded. It was really fun to see.
Well, you know, Air Force, I feel like, stands for character building, so I felt like we really had to throw ourselves into it and become better. And by the end of it, Aurora and I were kind of best friends, I think, maybe.
I'll go there. Taven Bordeaux straight ahead. The first time Air Force touched the football, they went 75 yards.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, Rich, right now on first down. That's the key for this New Mexico team. Find a way to get a stop on the first down play. Keep it to under 2 yards. Force Air Force to throw the football.
Bordeaux straight ahead. Armed Forces football proudly supported by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. We're in Colorado Springs, home of the Air Force Academy. The Falcons, in their first possession, kept it on the ground. They've not thrown a ball yet. They went 75 yards in 10 plays. Big defensive sack stopped New Mexico. And so the second touch here for Donald Hammond, who's starting at quarterback. And Hammond keeps it simple. That's Bordeaux. Now, Cole Fagan, the junior, was averaging close to 60 yards a game. Bordeaux, his backup. And so we'll see.
And it hurts Air Force a little bit missing Fagan out there. He was the bigger, I guess you could say, a little bit more thicker fullback. A kid at 6'1", 230 pounds, can get downhill, very strong lower half. So that's why he was able to get those 4, 5, 6 yards a pop. But Bordeaux so far this game's done a great job. Like we said at the beginning of the show, he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry.
Haven't thrown it yet. Sanders, little throwback there. And that's Wagerspack, the tight end. He's hit. Ball is down. And they have ruled it, I believe, an incompletion. Now a flag goes down on the sideline as the New Mexico coaches were trying to get their player to run down the field. Bob Davie's in the middle of this.
Yeah, Rich, initially looking at it, looks like, depends on when the knee and elbow touches the ground, but it was a catch. And it looks like...
The ruling in the field is that the runner was down before losing possession. It would be 4th down. After the play was over, sideline warning, New Mexico, there's no yardage associated with the warning. It will be 4th down.
So the flag is a warning, and I wouldn't be surprised if they review this play to see if it was, in fact, as they called it. Here's a look at it.
Yeah, you're going to see right here, it is a catch, has control, and then the left elbow is down right there, and that causes the fumble. The ground cannot cause a fumble, so good call by the ref. Seeing that initially, calling them down.
So a stop for New Mexico and a punt for Air Force. Jake Conkey, the Air Force punter. That's a good one. Marcus Hayes backing up, and he'll make that fair catch at the 17-yard line. We are underway in Colorado Springs. Air Force, an early 7-0 lead. 7-0 start for Air Force here. 5:19 left first quarter. This week's Phillips 66 Athlete of the Week is New Mexico defensive lineman Teton Saltis. And with more on that, here is Amanda Balionis.
Rich, to say Teton Saltis is an impressive young man would be a great understatement. I spoke to him at length earlier this week. November is also Native American Heritage Month. He's a great student, but he's an even better person. He and his family are heavily involved in the Native American culture. He was born on a reservation in South Dakota, and his whole family takes pride, and they are involved and founded many programs that help not only with literacy in adults and children throughout the nation, Native Americans, but also for mental health, making sure that anyone who feels like they want to hurt themselves, Teton Saltis actually has a 24/7 line, even at school, for people that need to talk to him.
That's great stuff, Amanda. Thank you for that. Colin Gerhardt, now he can really run it when he's healthy. I know he's got that sprained foot that he's battled for a while. And he's also been under some pressure today. Yeah,
that's the goal for Air Force right here. Knock Colton down. Whatever you can do, make him uncomfortable in the pocket. But that's just the way Air Force is built. They're going to play a little bit man-to-man on the outside, pressure with the linebackers, pressure with safeties.
Shotgun quick throw. That's Griffin the catch. Bounces outside, across the 30, 35, and to the 36-yard line before Kyle Johnson makes the stop. 8 yards on the pickup. And New Mexico will have a 2nd down and 2. That's exactly what Troy Calhoun told us about his defense. He said that at Air Force, we must be leaning forward on defense. That means pressures and blitzes. And
yeah, they don't want to sit back. They don't just want to sit back and cover 4 and cover 2 all game.
On the ground, and a nice gain there. Owens straight ahead.
And that's that inside zone that we want to see get going for this New Mexico offense. They can do a great job getting outside with their speed, or the slots, or the running back, but downhill runs attack Air Force. If Air Force wants to attack you, I want you to attack them as well.
Davon Vigilant, who had that last run and has it here, is caught and dropped. Grant Thiel, the junior safety out of Jasper, Indiana, made the stop. Vigilant is out of Downey, California, as he gets some time here on this drive in place of Tyrone Owens.
Yeah, right now, New Mexico, first couple of drives, done a great job. Obviously, we saw the deep pass. The first drive, they really got the momentum going for them a little bit. But protecting their quarterback is going to be the key throughout this ball game.
Vigilant again, huge hit there. Right at midfield. It's a gain of 1. Micah Capra made the stop. He had a career-high 10 tackles at Army, and Vigilant trots out. We'll bring on another back that looks like Zanier Schuler, the senior.
Last time in this situation, last drive, Air Force dialed up a couple linebackers to blitz, got enough pressure on Colton Gerhardt to cause the fumble. We'll see if they turn it up once again.
3rd and 4, has time, and it's knocked down. Parker Noren, the sophomore linebacker, got a hand on it. Another stop for the Air Force defense.
That's a great job. They blitzed the first possession on 3rd and medium. This time they decided to play a little man-to-man, tight coverage on the outside. Colton's trying to find his tight end on a one-on-one, but better job defensively being able to get that right ball in there. And it's that bend but don't break mentality so far for this Air Force defense.
End over end kick is out of bounds. Air Force gets the football. 3 minutes left in this first quarter. And the Falcons lead the Lobos by 7. 7-0 Air Force on top. Cadets in the sunshine and in the lead right now. It's time for a day in the life of a cadet, brought to you by Today's Military. This is just like your day, Aaron Murray, when you're trying to stay in football shape, right?
Yeah, this is identical to my time at Georgia. Not even close. I mean, it is incredible. Their day is packed. And we joked, where's the time for Fortnite? You know, where's the time for a little Netflix and just relaxing a little bit? I mean, it is go, go, go. From the minute they wake up at 6:15 to the minute they go to bed, it is non-stop for these student athletes here at the Air Force.
And we thank Andrew Smith, wide receiver, for giving us his schedule. He and the Air Force offense have the football at the 19-yard line. Movement, no flags. And a long count. Hammond hands it off. Cody Baker makes the stop. Taven Bordeaux with the carry. This Air Force offense has been pretty basic. They've thrown it once. They really haven't been creative in the throw game, which is something they've done pretty well this year.
Well, they're doing a great job running and getting those 4 to 5 yards of pop on first down, Rich.
This is just a straight handoff, and that's Remsburg almost out of the eyes. Jalen Burrell made the hit and the stop.
And looking at this New Mexico defense right now, they felt confident. They said, hey, watching the film on Army, they are more of the 3-down defensive line, which is the identity for this defense we're watching today. They feel like they can handle it as long as their nose tackle, Aaron Blackwell, can take control of the center.
3rd down 1. Air Force their own 28. Bordeaux has a seam, busts loose. Big man's rumbling to the 40, to the 30, and down he goes at the 23. 6'1", 220.
And the defense, they sell out for the quarter. Dive in the inside. Great job by the entire right side, right guard, right tackle, tight end, smashing the linebacker, smashing the 5 technique down. And then the safeties committed. We talk about the safeties being aggressive, but not too aggressive, because if you get out of position, once again, there's no one behind you, and that's when you get those big runs just like that.
That's a 50-yard carry all the way to the New Mexico 21-yard line. Ball's on the turf. Who's got it? New Mexico says they do, and they do.
Yeah, that's Donald Hammond's fault right there. Does not do a great job with strong hands. He wants to pull it. Maybe rode it with the fullback just a hair bit too long. You see right here, makes the decision in his mind just a hair bit too late that he wanted to keep the football. At that time, the fullback thinks it's mine. I'm going to grip it down, put my shoulders into it. And that's a big turnover for this defense after a huge run play.
Sitaveni Taimavena with the recovery. The senior out of Renton, Washington, and a big play for the New Mexico defense. And Sharon Jones is in the game at quarterback right now for New Mexico. So we've seen Colton Gerhardt, and Amanda and Aaron both addressed this at the outset of the telecast. Both these teams have had multiple quarterbacks. They've started 3 quarterbacks each, and Jones has had some starts. He's thrown for 13 touchdowns. He has thrown 10 interceptions.
And that's what got him on the bench, Rich, is those 10 interceptions right there. Because you turn the film, there are some great moments, but it's those oh no moments is the reason why he's not starting.
Owens on the carry. And Owens is wrapped up. Grant Donaldson got a hand on him.
And we saw that the first couple possessions, Air Force and their ability to tackle, knock Colton Gerhardt in the chest, bringing pressure when he was rolling out. I wonder if that affected him a little bit at all. He's not 100% healthy. If he's not feeling great, we should see more Sharon Jones as this football game progresses.
3rd down 4. Ball at New Mexico's 28. Jones, his first possession. Quick throw, deflected. Donaldson coming from that left side.
Yeah, it's a great job getting the hand up there, because they're actually playing pretty soft and off at the cornerback position. Great decision by Jones, such a simple hitch on the outside. Cornerback was about 10 yards away. But the issue is, if you want to call quick game, the offensive linemen and the running backs, Rich, they have to cut, because the ball's coming out quick, the ball's coming out low, and that's why you see those tip passes. Running back did not do a good enough job getting there, cutting the defender down at the waist.
Andrew Smith is deep for Air Force. That one was almost blocked, and Smith makes the fair catch at the 31-yard line. Join our Tops crew bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 Eastern. They get you ready for another jam-packed day of the NFL. Don't miss the unmatched analysis, bold predictions from our football experts on that other pregame show right here on CBS Sports Network.
Rich, I'm interested to see how long the leash is for Donald Hammond. I mean, at what point, if this offense is not producing, if they're not putting points on the scoreboard, do you go ahead and put Isaiah Sanders in? Because we looked at the beginning of the season, Aaron Worthman was the starting quarterback. He had some issues hanging on to the football, a lot of fumbles. Just saw the fumble there from Donald Hammond.
Fake on the reverse, kept there by Remsburg, cuts back nicely, and then gets to the 45-yard line. Well designed. It's a 13-yard pickup. And the final seconds of this first quarter about to expire. New Mexico and Air Force, a quarter in the books. And a 7-0 Falcon lead. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. Second quarter about to go here at the Air Force Academy. Let's see who's best in the West, brought to you by Best Western. Aaron Murray.
Oh, man, what a game last night. Boise State and Fresno State. It was 17-3. I thought the game was over. They came back, won that big game. Brett Rippon dominates. Utah State, talk about the most dominant team right now. And then a lot of teams throwing the football in this league, making a lot of noise. You're seeing more and more spread offenses, a lot of excitement. It's going to be a fun end of the season these next couple weeks.
Donald Hammond at the controls of this Air Force offense. Little option left. That's well played by New Mexico.
DJ Hammond to the left side for Air Force. He's met there by Michael Sewell Jr.
Michael Sewell Jr. with a hit.
Second down 4.
It's a gain of 6, second down and 4.
Now I want to see Air Force open up a little bit. We've seen some shots. Usually when a team gets about the 50-yard line, that's when the things start to open a little bit in the pass game.
Option and a pitch. Andrew Smith coming around from his wide receiver spot, and a nice gain there to the 37-yard line, 12 yards on the pickup.
And Andrew Smith really replacing Ronald Cleveland, who's been out with an injury. He's been doing a great job not only catching the football, but in these plays right here. Not the biggest of football players, only about 5'8", 5'9", but has the speed to get out around the edge. You saw right there be able to get that first down.
First drive was a 75-yard touchdown drive. On the move here. Hammond will keep it. Has a block and a good one. He's 20. He's 10. He's in. 37 yards. Donald Hammond.
Yeah, it's a great job. I want you to focus on Taven Bordeaux, number 33. Finding the guy. Boom. Knocks to safety. But that's a great job by Donald Hammond. He's very patient at the initial beginning of that run. You see the offensive line, the right side sets up the block, and then his fullback, Taven Bordeaux, downfield, blocking a safety. And once you get about 10 yards deep, these safeties are about that 10-yard mark. There's no one left. We've seen a couple big runs. That's a great job getting 7 more points on the board.
Right now, Air Force is chewing New Mexico up on the ground. 219 yards already, and this one from Donald Hammond stretches the lead.
I want you to focus a little bit on where these safeties are located. You see they're about 6 yards from the line of scrimmage. You got to play downhill to stop the triple option, but the problem is as soon as the quarterback or running back gets past that second level, there's no one left. We've seen 2 big runs so far from Air Force today because everyone's extremely downhill, safeties are downhill, and as a runner, all you need to do is get past that 5 or 6 yard marker. Boom, there you go. Great read by Donald Hammond III. You see it right now, 8 rushes, 76 yards. He's being patient, but most importantly, the defense is a little bit too much downhill. And that's why we're seeing the big runs, Rich.
We talked in the outset about quarterbacks for both sides. And for Air Force, certainly, DJ Hammond. He does go by DJ sometimes. Isaiah Sanders. Those are the 2 to look for. It's been all Hammond. New Mexico, though, has not only had Colton Gerhardt, but Sharon Jones quarterback that last series. We'll see who comes out for the Lobos when they get the football here. Elijah Lilly. It's a nice return out to the 29-yard line. CBS Super Bowl season continues. Doubleheader tomorrow. Brady drives New England into Tennessee to battle Mariota and the Titans. Seattle looks to gain some ground in the NFC West against the Rams, trying to rebound after their first loss of the season. Kick off your day with NFL Today, presented by Jeep, 12 Eastern on CBS. Some Lobos on CBS tomorrow, including a couple of really good kickers. These two guys, Broquez and Sanders, for the last few years, were the kicker and the punter for this New Mexico team. They had some of the best special teams around. So it's Jones back at quarterback, and he'll hand it off. That's Zanier Schuler, the senior running back. And Schuler with a gain of 12. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by Golden Corral.
And right now for this offense, only 73 yards before that last play. Most of it was through the air on the big pass play we saw on the first drive. We're going to see a little bit more commitment to the run game.
Vigilance, not much there. Hauled down by Micah Capra, the senior defensive end.
And it's going to be interesting to see what is the plan for this quarterback situation for New Mexico. Is it going to be 2 drives here, 2 drives there, rotate these guys, or are we going to see Sharon Jones for the rest of this game? And if we do, Rich, the key for him is no turnovers. We talked about it, 10 interceptions on the season. If he can take care of the football, listen, you turn on the film, he can make all the throws you want as a quarterback.
Jones flushed, nobody open, and he's going to scamper out of bounds. Parker Noren chased him out of bounds, and right now New Mexico has thrown for 47 yards, but remember 38 of that for Bob Davie's team was on that Gerhardt throw over the middle on the great catch by Hart Johnson.
Yeah, this defense has done a great job mixing it up, keeping this offense questioning, Rich. Are they going to bring pressure? Is it going to be man-to-man coverage? First drive, we saw pressure, then we saw a little bit man-to-man. You got to think they're going to bring some guys right now, turn up the heat a little bit.
On 3rd down and 10, and here they come. Jones throws on the mark, caught there. That's Ume, makes a move. Ume to the 30, got a block. He's 20, and down to the 4-yard line. Anselm Ume on the throw from Sharon Jones. 56 yards.
And you see Air Force are going to bring a little bit of pressure, play tight man-to-man coverage on the outside. But man, oh man, Sharon Jones, that was a beautiful pass. Only where his receiver could catch it. And then that's just a great athlete on the outside, making the play from there. But most importantly, we talked about Sharon Jones. He can make these type of throws. It's the bad decision-making with interceptions that's put him on the bench.
Ume is gassed on the sideline, and straight ahead and into the end zone is Schuler. New Mexico has points, a 3-yard run. Well, that's a nice answer from the Lobos.
It's a tremendous answer. Obviously, the big pass play on 3rd down. But Schuler, 6'1", 232 pounds. He is the big running back, the 3rd and short goal line. Great job. They need an answer, Rich. Air Force, after that last drive to get the 14-0, New Mexico needed to get some momentum on their side. Now let's see if the defense can go out there and take advantage of it.
And so the catch and run by Anselm Ume, the sophomore out of Bellflower, California, sets up the short touchdown run by Zanier Schuler. And obviously an Air Force Falcon down right now. That's Brody Bagnall, who's an outstanding inside linebacker. And Bagnall on his way to the sideline.
Andrew Shelley will attempt the extra point.
That was a great run right there by Schuler, doing a great job. He understands the defense was reeling a little bit. Got to use my size and my strength and take advantage of a team a little bit gassed after that big pass play.
Point is up and good. Air Force a 14-0 lead until New Mexico got rolling. Zanir Schuler into the end zone. It's 14-7.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union. Proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 85 years. Insured by NCUA. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Phillips 66, proud to be here.
That is the family of the late Captain Chris Stover, a fallen hero from the Air Force. And they were involved not only in the coin toss, you saw them in the production truck here, or CBS Sports Network truck. They came to the booth. Aaron, you and I had a chance to chat with them. They're going to come back during the game. We invited them back to see.
They drop a couple plays, told them to take over the pen, see if they can dissect a little cover 2, cover 4 action.
That kick does not go into the end zone, and it's picked up and has to be returned. Joseph Saucier is out to the 13-yard line. Let's check in with Amanda Balionis. Amanda?
Thanks, Rich. Well, of course, Veterans Day is on Monday, so Air Force is wearing their Air Power Legacy Series uniforms and helmets. It's an homage to the AC-130 aircraft on one side of the helmet. It's really cool to see up close and personal. And then their squadron patches are on the other. Now, the Falcons debuted these uniforms in their opener versus Stony Brook. And get this, since the program began in 2016, the Air Force is a perfect 6-0 when wearing the Air Power Legacy Series uniforms.
Rich, I might have to find a way to sneak me one of those helmets. Those are sweet.
I like the emblem that looks like a cross between Air Force and the Grateful Dead on one of their helmets. Sweet look indeed. Back to work. Flag goes down. Bordeaux is loose. Big man rumbling again. 30 being chased. He covers up, and it's dropped at the 11-yard line. But a flag sits back at the 15-yard line. I think this is coming back. 74 yards, though, for Bordeaux.
Personal foul. Chop block, number 74, 60 offense. At the distance to the goal line. First down.
Yeah, you're going to see the right guard and right tackle right there. One goes low, one goes high and makes contact. They're protecting the knees of the offensive lineman. Right here, the right side of the offensive line. One high, one low, right in front of the referee. No need for it. You didn't have to do it. If you both would have stayed up, it would have been a great block. A little double team to the linebacker would have done the same thing to be able to spring the fullback for that big run play.
It's going to back it all the way up inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Remsburg in the backfield. Remember, no Cole Fagan. It's been Bordeaux who's been that dive back, which is so important in this offense. Pitch on the outside, and that's Garrett Amy. We saw Andrew Smith, the wide receiver, on a little pitch reverse. And that time it was Amy, the senior out of Dallas.
And I tell you what, New Mexico really needed that last play to be a chop block, because like I said, I think it still would have been a great play without the chop block. And once again, it would have been another big play. Momentum would have been back on Air Force's side. Now, so I think Rich, now we're going to see a pass play. I mean, they got to open up a little bit, throw the football down the field if they want to be able to convert a first down on this drive.
Hammond back, sets, throws, man open, caught there. That's Brandon Lewis. Great call, Aaron Murray.
Yeah, it's a great play call. I mean, as a defense, you have to realize it's second and long. This team has shown the ability to pass the football. This could be that opportunity. Great concept on the outside, just a little bit of a double post, outside leverage by the defensive back. And we said it, Isaiah Sanders, Donald Hammond, these two quarterbacks who have played the past 5-6 weeks, both of them can throw the ball vertically down the field. Great touch by Donald Hammond, laying it out there for his receiver to make the catch.
Right at midfield. And now Hammond to the 46. Brandon Lewis, the guy that just made that catch, there he is, number 26 on the sideline. He wasn't even on the team 2 weeks ago. For the Boise State game, they had an injury and a late spot. they do have a JV type program, and he didn't have a number, he didn't have a locker. He had to get dressed outside the locker room, and he came in and caught a ball in that game, and now he's got 5 catches on the season.
And 5 catches with this kind of offense, that's a lot of catches only in such a couple games.
The second down. Mallards, who had the touchdown run at the 44-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, once again, a little fumble with the quarterback-fullback exchange right there, and that's something that needs to get cleaned up. We saw the fumble earlier between Hammond and the fullback. You can't have those mistakes, especially when you get the ball rolling offensively. But right now, where the ball is and what kind of offense you run for Air Force, this is 4-down territory. So expect something kind of fullback dive to make it a 4th and short.
3rd down and 4. Hammond. He's going to get maybe a couple, and that cuts the yardage in half. It'll be 4th down and about 2.
Yeah, and that's fine for this offense. We talked about it earlier, what they do on 4th down, converting over 60% of their 4th down so far this season, because they get into these type of situations, 4th and manageable.
Bordeaux is back in, a little false motion there by Joseph Saucier, who's also in the backfield.
I'll tell you what, if you had confidence in your quarterback, you take another shot right here.
Bordeaux, and he's smothered. Boy, big hit by Najee Flowers, the sophomore defensive line. And New Mexico with a terrific stand right near midfield.
Yeah, it's a great job defensively. Like I said, I would have liked to see Air Force maybe take a shot, right? Once again, the safeties were creeping about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. They were going to sell out to stop the fullback dive, which they did, but great job by New Mexico defense understanding and studying their game film.
Timeout on the field will step aside. New Mexico within a touchdown. They get the ball next. (14-7), Air Force on top. New Mexico has the ball, good field position. Tomorrow at noon, CBS Sports Network hits the hardwood. Women's basketball. Gino Ariema's dominant run with UConn continues. Their #2, and they tip off their season and welcome in the Buckeyes of Ohio State on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
All right, great last drive. We saw them open up a little bit offensively. Great accurate throws from Sharon Jones at quarterback. Should have some confidence heading again, see if they can tie this ball game up.
Jones pulls the handoff and is run down from behind by Jordan Jackson. Let's head back to New York, get an update from Brent Stover. Brent? All right, thank you, Brent. Here, Colorado Springs, New Mexico on the move. Jones going to take a deep shot and overthrow everybody. And down at the 10-yard line. If you're just joining us, Colton Gerhardt started at quarterback. Sharon Jones on for his 3rd drive.
And a little bit of a hold there. Got away with it on the back end. Milton Bug the 3rd. It looked like he bear hugged him a little bit. If he didn't, though, that could have been a great design play. You saw the inside post, took the safety and also the backside corner one-on-one. But like I said, got lucky right there with the hold.
3rd down 7 now. Jones pumped and in trouble. And down he goes. Planted at the 33. Blake Daly, senior linebacker.
And we talk about this defense bringing the pressure. We're going to see a little bit of a cross dog. You'll see the 2 linebackers coming to your screen right there. Nothing open on the back end, but these linebackers, I said, you're going to see a cross dog blitz where they cross each other up. Middle linebacker goes first, will linebacker goes second. Causes some confusion with the offensive line. Did a great job getting after the quarterback.
Andrew Smith is going to try to return this one. Can't get outside, and he loses yardage. Captured back at the 10-yard line.
Smith on the return.
Good special teams work by New Mexico. A 14-7 Air Force lead.
First down, Air Force.
We are back in Falcon Stadium where Air Force is leading New Mexico 14-7, but right now it's time for today's installment of Armed Forces Greatest Legends, and we take a look at Air Force wide receiver Jalen Robinette. In the Falcons' last win over New Mexico in 2014, their record-breaking wideout caught this game-winning 50-yard touchdown. Robinette's 2,697 career yards is a school record.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Thank you, Amanda. And you know what, Aaron? Robinette is serving his, I guess, his tour, so to speak, right now. But he's staying in football shape. And next year, some think maybe he'll give it a shot because he has the skills to play at a higher level.
We were talking about yesterday, he's the definition of a Patriot. The New England Patriots should bring him in for a little bit of a workout.
Air Force with the football, their own 10-yard line. They've run for 272 yards already. And remember, the run by Taven Bordeaux was 70-some yards. It was wiped out by the penalty.
Yeah, they're dominating the line of scrimmage. We keep talking about the quarterback, the running backs, the fullbacks, but this offensive line, besides the cut block we saw the previous drive, has done a tremendous job. But still, the magical number is 4. Can they get 4 yards to carry? Right now, they're well above that with some of these big runs we've seen.
Well, it's 2nd down and 4. DJ Hammond is captured again. Najee Flowers has made 2 big plays, 2 tackles for losses. And Hammond's going to lose yardage, so this turns into 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, maybe Air Force last year, you would worry about this down and distance right now, but with Donald Hammond at the quarterback, he can run it. So the defensive backs, these safeties, these cornerbacks, we've seen a big throw down the field. They got to make sure everything stays in front of them. Don't let the big play, a post route go ball on the outside, take advantage and waste an opportunity to gain good field position for your offense.
From their own 15, there's a pitch back, bobbled. That's Sanders, and Gerard Sanders is wiped out. Stanley Barnwell Jr., the sophomore, coming up and making the play for New Mexico.
Yeah, it's a great job defensively. We talked about keeping your eyes in the right position. It's actually a little reverse, and they're looking to throw the football to Donald Hammond on the outside. He kind of stalked and went. But the eyes of the defense, and that's a heck of a hit, laying the wood right there. Good contact to the chest, not to the head. And now should give your offense great field position. See if they can tie this ball game up.
Conkey from his end zone. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Not a great punt. And right at midfield, the fair catch is made. The flag is back at the line of scrimmage. 38-yard kick.
Looks like it's going to be offsides on Air Force right here.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. More than 4 players in the backfield. The 5-yard penalty will be added on to the dead ball spot. 1st down, New Mexico.
Kevin Boitman, our referee here in the Mountain West. So an extra 5 yards, and this football is going to be sitting at the Air Force 45-yard line.
When we talk about Air Force, the pressure they're going to bring from their linebackers, we've seen it all game long, especially in 3rd down. There's a little bit of a cross-dog blitz right here. It confuses the offensive line. They get the sack. But that is this Air Force defense. They do a great job mixing it up, whether it's blitzing linebackers, safeties, and cornerbacks, and they're keeping the offensive line on their heels.
Sharon Jones now running the offense for New Mexico, and that's Davon Vigilance. He's going to get 4 yards to the 41-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Remember, Colton Gerhardt started the game. Gerhardt took a vicious hit from behind and was doubled over on the sideline for a while. And so we've seen Jones, who's hit some throws, and was able to get New Mexico in the end zone on 2nd down here. That's 4 more hard-earned yards by Zaneer Schuler. Short of the 1st down. And it's 3rd down and about 2.
And Rich right here, I wouldn't be surprised. This is 4-down territory. They're actually taking Schuler out of the ball game. They would have figured he would have stayed in. You see him right there. A little shaken up after that last run. He's more the 3rd and short back, but you have 4 downs. I would run it right here, see if you can convert it or get to 4th and short.
that should be a first down to the 35-yard line. And we check in with Amanda Balionis. Amanda?
Rich, it has cooled down considerably over these last few minutes on the sideline. In fact, Air Force has turned on their sideline heaters. Guys are jumping up and down. And Aaron, I wonder for you, and you're playing through injury, which many of these guys are this late in the season, how does the cooler temperatures really affect that?
It affects you a little bit early in the game, Amanda. Right now, you're going, you're feeling good, the adrenaline's cranking. So for these players, they're not too cold, which is a good thing.
Vigilant breaks loose, burst of speed, down to the 12. Dave on Vigilant, Milton Bug the third made the stop, and New Mexico's rolling.
Yeah, it's a great job by offensive line. You see it right there, great crease. And then also from the tight ends on the outside, Drayden Dickey, number 84, locking up with the safety. This offensive line, though, they do have the ability. They do a great job talking with the coaches for New Mexico. The zone run game, inside, outside, they do a great job keeping their shoulder pads square, getting to the next level. It's more in the pass protection where they need to continue to work on that.
It was a 24-yard run, longest of the day for New Mexico. They'll stay on the ground. Vigilant touchdown. New Mexico within a point.
I want you to focus on the center right here, Kyle Stapley. It's a great job passing off his guy, getting up to the linebacker, making the block, and springing his running back for the touchdown. It's a couple really nice jobs by the offensive lineman, taking care of the front four and then getting up to the linebackers, seeing some big runs, and then that one for 7.
Air Force streak to a 14-0 lead. New Mexico has got 2 touchdowns on the board. Bob Davie a little happier right now. And the Ram halftime report is coming up. Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Christian Fourier waiting in our New York studio. Get you caught up on the early action in college football today here in the Mountain West. Air Force a 14-0 lead. New Mexico has erased it. 14 apiece.
That's a happy sideline right now, because this Air Force team, they've done a great job dominating the line of scrimmage, dominating the clock, just finding a way. New Mexico finding a way to stay in it. And now looking at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, if they can just play some great defense and get this to 14-14, that's a great first half, especially with the quarterback change midway through to start the second quarter.
DJ Hammond has gone the distance so far as the quarterback for Air Force. An inside handoff. That's Bordeaux.
David Bordeaux to the right side for the Falcons.
Cody Baker made the stop.
And right now for New Mexico, you see all 3 timeouts left. You got to think, if they're able to get a stop right there and make this a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 possibility, maybe they use one of those timeouts, giving the offense one more opportunity to go down there and score before the half.
Hammond in a shotgun, quarterback draw, picks his way through, gets to the outside, gets the first down and more. And he closes in on midfield, stepped out at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, now all of a sudden the mentality completely changes for Air Force. Now you have 3 timeouts, a minute 56 to go. Great job. You get into more of a passing formation. You see the linebacker safeties drop, and then one-on-one, Hammond makes the safety miss, be able to get the first down and then get out of bounds, conserve and save those 3 timeouts. You may need them for later to maybe rush on a kicker.
DJ Hammond is a yard shy of 100. 12 carries, 99 yards, and a 1st and 10. Air Force at the 46. Hammond will throw, sets, fires, middle, dropped. Gerard Sanders was the intended receiver. D'Angelo Ross on the coverage for New Mexico.
They like those routes, Rich. It's just a simple seam routes on both sides. Outside leverage by the cornerback. Ball's a hair bit low. He could have maybe kept his receiver up, Gerard Sanders, but still, you got to be able to go down there and make that catch. So just a simple seam route. Just a great job getting inside of the corner, but you have to be able to haul in the catch afterwards.
Inside handoff there. Remsburg breaks a tackle, breaks loose. Remsburg 20, Remsburg 10, Remsburg touchdown! 54 yards.
And what an awesome run. They're just going to fake like they're going to roll out to the left. Not so fast, a little bit of counter. Great job by Parker Ferguson, number 77, gaining leverage on the linebacker. And then the running back does it the rest. Kevin Remsburg has some big runs so far today. None bigger that one to take the lead back, get this ball game, hopefully to 21-14.
Believe it or not, that is Air Force's longest run of the year at 54 yards.
Yeah, great job staying committed to the run. And then Caden Remsburg, along with that offense line, creating just enough of a seam to spring it to get this ball game to 21-14.
That's right. Give me 21 of them.
Rich, I want to see you get down and give me 21 of them. That's impressive right there, getting after it. In this run game, I mean, they have been dominant so far this first half. Big run after big run after big run. It's the eye discipline, though, Rich. It's the eye discipline with these safeties. That was #1 for Kevin Cosgrove in this defense. Don't be out of position because Air Force will take advantage of it, and they have so far this first half.
Air Force has run for 306 yards already. Whew.
They're averaging about 241 a game, so well above that already in the first half right here.
Conkey with a low line drive kick that's going to dribble into the end zone. Time now for the college football playoff poll powered by Ram Trucks. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan, Aaron Murray's Georgia Bulldogs at the 5 spot. Washington State is just up the road taking on Colorado and leads them 10-7 right now.
Yeah, a lot of interesting games right now. Obviously, Notre Dame and Book is out. Brandon Woodbush will be the starting quarterback for tonight, so we'll see if that affects them. I still think they should take care of Florida State. And then Oklahoma State, I tell you what, Rich, there is no defense in the Big 12. I mean, it doesn't exist. It's 7-on-7, and this game could be 55-49 by the end of the day.
Well, there's still plenty of time here for New Mexico if they've got an answer. Jones sets up. He'll take a shot down the middle. Leaping catch made there. Delane Hart-Johnson, his second great catch of the day, 41 yards.
Yeah, that's a great catch right there. Delane Hart-Johnson, 6'4", and he used all that height right here to go up and over the safety. Jeremy Fedgelum had no chance, but great job by Sharon Jones. Understand, I got some height on the outside. Let me throw it up and let him go make the catch.
Tyrone Owens breaks loose, and New Mexico getting closer. Fedgelum made the stop. New Mexico now inside the 10. They mark it at the 5. They haven't used a timeout yet. That's 29 yards.
Yeah, we've seen this over and over again so far. You get a big play in the pass game, and then bam, right away, you get a quick run. Defense is reeling. They got a touchdown off it about 3 possessions ago. Once again, taking advantage of the momentum that's created in the pass game.
And New Mexico's going to take a timeout. You saw him bring in.
Timeout. New Mexico, they're first. It will be 30 seconds.
Bob Davie right now on the sidelines. 21-14. Air Force just scored on a big play. New Mexico on a couple of big plays. He's sitting at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Minute 15 left.
And we don't think of Air Force, Rich, as an offense that can score quickly, but you saw that last drive, their ability to not only run it and throw it, but be able to score in a blink of an eye. With 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in this half, you wouldn't think, hey, if we score pretty fast, Air Force can go then and maybe get some points on the board once again. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see. Do you try to maybe run the ball, eat some clock, and then score with hopefully about 30 seconds to go with this half to make sure Air Force doesn't get an opportunity to get the ball back with enough time to put some points on the board.
Owens in the backfield. Sharon Jones at the controls and has looked sharp. First and goal from the 5. Straight ahead, Owens to the 4. Now there's still plenty of time here, so you don't have to burn a timeout. And this will maybe answer your question about pace.
And don't rush it either. You don't need to get lined up fast. You don't need to call play fast. Plenty of time. Make sure each play matters right now because you want to get 7 points.
High snap. Jones. Back to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll have to use a timeout. Jeremy Fedulum with a good play there coming up from his strong safety spot. 38 seconds left.
Yeah, great job defensively these past 2 plays. Reeling in, getting big at the defensive line. And then the safety, Jeremy Fedulum, you had the big play against him on the catch. Making sure he steps up at the goal line, make this a 3rd and 3.
Now, Bob Davie, of course, had that run at Notre Dame, was a defensive coordinator for Texas A&M for a while and Notre Dame, and then was a broadcaster. He did what you're doing right now for 10 years. So there's hope for you in the future if
I want to get into coaching.
If you want to get into coaching.
I like being up here with you, though, Rich. You know, it's fun, and it's a little warmer up here as well. You had to think, we talk about the spread offense with New Mexico. They're going to maybe spread Air Force out a little bit, see if you could maybe get a light box, take advantage of it with a run. If not, one-on-one opportunities. We saw it last week. We saw at the beginning of this, the length, the height. Guys like Delaney Hart-Johnson at 6'4", be able to get one-on-ones and throw it up for a jump ball. We see the matchup right now, one-on-one up here. 6'4" receiver, we'll see if they take advantage of it.
Owens on the ground, nothing going. Boy, that's 3 straight stops. Jordan Jackson and Micah Capper on that defensive line. And do you settle for 3 here if you're New Mexico, or do you roll the dice and go for it on 4th and goal?
I'd kick a field goal. Points right now, get some momentum back on your side, make this a 21-17 game. You're still in it. The last thing you want to do, give Air Force a great feeling heading into the locker room. I think what he's going to do is just waste this clock, get to about 3 seconds, call a timeout, and hopefully put the kicker out there.
Well, there's the timeout.
New Mexico, their final.
And here comes the field goal unit. Boy, 1st and goal at the 5. 3 big plays.
Big plays.
By the Air Force defense.
Yeah, but just not enough. I like the fact that offensively you spread them out. I think they had some matchups though, Rich. They did. You saw Air Force's defense. They were going to load the box, make you take chances on the outside, and they played right into what Air Force wanted them to do, and that's run the football. You know, that's why you have the spread offense. It's a numbers game. If there's 7, 8 guys in the box, you throw on the outside one-on-one. I don't think it was great play calling down there inside the 5-yard line.
Now, something to note. New Mexico has not missed a field goal all season long. Not many teams in the country can say that.
Missed a couple extra points, though.
Yeah, well, the flip side of that, they've only attempted 5 field goals. They're a perfect 5 of 5. They've missed 5 extra points.
This is about extra point range, too, so.
Right. Andrew Shelley, a walk-on. Of course, we showed you earlier, Jason Sanders, a terrific kicker, now with the Dolphins. You can see him on CBS tomorrow. And Shelley is a walk-on from Albuquerque with a big leg. It's been an entertaining first half for sure. Let's see if Shelley can knock this in and get some points out of this drive. Someone may have gotten a hand on it, but it still goes through. And so New Mexico gets points. Air Force keeps the lead. Entertaining here in the Mountain West this afternoon. We're headed to the studio soon. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network.
Watching the CBS Sports Network Halftime Report, powered by Ram Trucks.
Hello and welcome alongside Christian Fourier and Kevin Carter. I'm Brent Stover. Entertaining first half, guys. Kevin, it's 21-17 Air Force.
Yeah, over 300 yards rushing for Air Force in the first half. That's 60 yards more than their per-game average, which is the lowest that it's been since 2006. But they're making up for lost time today in this Air Force offense. We see them on the ground. Look at the quarterback, Hammond, handoff to Bordeaux. Right up the middle on the dive. Do your job, defense. No one's tackling him. He's getting up the field. Chunk plays aplenty for this Air Force offense. Hammond takes it himself this time around the corner, follows his blockers, gets down the sideline.
Yeah, huge stakes for both these teams because a loser cannot end the season with a winning record or become bowl eligible. So Air Force getting back to their roots, running the football, doing what they do best, really forcing New Mexico to make tackles, and so far they're not doing it.
Donald Hammond, 99 on the ground. Caden Remsburg, 99 as well. And Taven Berto, you saw him in the highlight. He's got 78.
Starting to get chilly here in Colorado Springs as afternoon turns to early evening. Entertaining first half for the Mountain West. Air Force on top of New Mexico. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Murray. Amanda Bellionis will join us shortly. Both offenses got it in gear.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And New Mexico, impressive. They could have reeled after that 14-0 deficit to start this football game. They've done a good job staying in it. But Air Force's run game right now has been pretty impressive to see so far. Quarterbacks, running backs, fullbacks, they have used everyone in over 300 yards rushing so far in the first half.
And that's probably the big number for our first half stats brought to you by Humana, and that's the rushing yards.
Yeah, you see that 306, just about over 9 yards per carry right now. And it's not just the fullback run up the middle. I mean, they've got some big plays down the field. The safeties need to do a better job for this defense of New Mexico.
All right, we bring these rushing yards to life for the first half highlights.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything. You see the fullbacks, you see the running backs. Guys are wide open, but most importantly, Donald Hammond's done a great job giving it when he needs to give it. He's had some good passes, but Caden Remsburg has had some big runs. Very impressive. Offensive line been very impressive as well so far this football game.
Of course, Bob Davie in New Mexico saw Air Force go up 14-0, and then all of a sudden New Mexico's offense clicked in. They settled for a field goal after a 1st and goal from the 5, and Troy Calhoun's defense for Air Force had 3 stops on runs. And as a result, instead of 21 apiece, it's 21-17. Elijah Lilly is deep. We're ready for the second half here in Colorado Springs. Into the end zone and down to the sideline. Amanda Bellionis. Amanda?
Thanks, Rich. I had a chance to talk with both coaches at halftime. Starting with Coach Calhoun, he said we are going to stick with DJ Hammond, but the big message to his team, we talked about it in the open, they've had so many close games that ended up to be losses. He said, I need to tell these guys to play all 4 quarters until the end. Coach Davie, on the other hand, did tell me we are going to see Sharon Jones more than Gerhardt, but we will see both. Jones because he thinks he gives them a better opportunity to throw the ball. Defensively, he said Air Force has just had a really good game plan against us, that we gave them 2 non-triple option plays that they scored on, so we're going to have to adjust.
All right, good information there, Amanda. On the ground, and New Mexico's spread offense, but it seems like they spread it to run it, and they did it pretty well. Balanced attack. Davon vigilant there with the carry.
Well, Amanda said it best. I mean, Sharon Jones does give this offense a better opportunity to throw the football. Had some very impressive throws in the first half. I think they're getting the matchups rich on the outside. You just have to take advantage of it by calling more passes down the field.
Vigilant again. He may lose a yard. Good play there by Kyle Johnson, the middle linebacker. Third down and 2.
And right now, Air Force, these past couple plays, you see all the guys near the line of scrimmage. 9 guys. There's one-on-one opportunities on the outside. They're getting the matchups. They got to take advantage of it. And once again, 3rd and medium. The Air Force DBs are about 7 yards off right now. Maybe a quick hitch.
There he is. Quick hitch caught there. First down, Delane Hart-Johnson. And that's a gain of about 4. Hart-Johnson had a couple of spectacular first half catches. Armed Forces Football is proudly sponsored by USAA, and it's a treat to be here at the Air Force Academy on this Veterans Weekend. We had a great flyover to start things. And a fun football game as well. A little toss there on the reverse. It's Elijah Lilly trying to get out of bounds at the 40-yard line. He's going to gain maybe 4. Grant Thiel hauled him down. There's your first half possessions for New Mexico.
Yeah, punt, the touchdown, and then you see the little touchdown later, and then even the field goal. It's the pass that set those drives up. They got some great momentum, great job on the outside, taking advantage of the one-on-ones, and then they were able to punch it in for touchdowns and field goals. I think they got to go with that, Rich, going forward in the second half. Your receivers right now are having a good day when given the opportunity.
Sharon Jones has been at quarterback for all but the first 2 series for New Mexico. A race for the sticks. And he leaps out right over the 47-yard line for the first down. Zane Lewis and Sharon Jones, the junior, transfer from Tennessee.
Yeah, it's a good job by Sharon Jones. Great job by the offensive line, though. You know, just enough time to go through his reads. No one's open, then take off. That's going to be the big question mark in the second half, too. Can this offensive lineman figure out the front 7 of Air Force in pass protection? With all the blitzes, all the stunts, can they protect their quarterback for 3 or 4 seconds so he can take advantage of these one-on-one opportunities?
Blitz comes. Time for Jones. Loads up. Deep ball, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Grant Thiel at the 6-yard line.
You know, and these are the plays right here, Rich, the ones that Sharon Jones, he made some, oh my goodness, plays that were awesome. And then right here, he sees the safety, he sees the corner, but great job by Grant Thiel for getting the interception for Air Force. But just bad decision by quarterback play right there.
Sharon Jones, a deep throw, first career interception for Grant Thiel, the junior safety out of Jasper, Indiana. And a 21-17 lead for Air Force. And we check in with Amanda Balionis. Amanda?
Yeah, I am here with Randy. Obviously was just honored at halftime. First and foremost, thank you so much for your service. But how special is it to celebrate Veterans Day weekend here at your alma mater, a place where you played football as well?
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely wonderful for me to represent a lot of the Vietnam vets. You know, we have an awful lot of military in the area, Air Force, Army, etc. So it's a great honor to represent them all in receiving this wonderful pin that I have on my uniform. And the other thing is, I actually went to the University of New Mexico for my master's degree. So I'm a Lobo fan, but I'm a Lobo fan until they have to play Air Force, and then I'm strictly Air Force Falcon fan.
You know, you're stealing my questions. I was going to ask you, who are you rooting for? But that message is clear. But, I mean, what great memories does it bring back when you come back onto this football field? You see these cadets celebrating, and they are here 100% for their guys on the football field.
Well, you know, I've been, you know, I was a cadet like 60 years ago, so my memory doesn't really serve me well. But to be part of the football team that we had in 1958, it was an undefeated football team. It was absolutely wonderful. It's one of the greatest memories I have. A lot of the friends and you know, that I have now were players with me at that time. We still bond together as a group, as a team. So, and I think that it goes with these individuals as well. Once they get through with their you know, academy careers, they'll remember back to these particular games and days when they had their teammates here, and they'll continue that friendship throughout their entire career.
It's about a lot more than football. Well, thank you so much for your time again. Thank you so much for your service. Rich?
Great stuff, Amanda. Terrific interview. As Air Force, right now, the modern-day Falcons have one of their teammates back. Cole Fagan starting out the second half here. And Fagan with that carry is out to the 27-yard line. Hard-nosed fullback, 6'1", 230.
Yeah, he's the thicker, stronger, able to get that, you see, 4.5 yards per carry. And now he's going against a defense that's a little bit worn out. He feels great sitting out that first half, so he's taking advantage of it right now so far in this first drive for this Air Force team in the second half.
Fagan, not a lot of room there. And New Mexico with a stop.
Fagan carries for the Falcons. Touchdown by Michael Sewell.
Adebayo Sormekin made the hit and the stop.
And we talk about time of possession. That's another key factor too. Yards per carry, but time of possession when you play a triple option team. How long is your defense on the field? Right now, they got to get off the field on this third down. because you start reeling, you start getting a little bit worn down as we go in the second half.
DJ Hammond, and Hammond is out to the 45-yard line. Michael Sewell, D'Angelo Ross, 17 yards from Hammond, who's well over 100 yards on the ground now.
Yeah, and Cole Fagan, once again, you're seeing a great block right there on the linebacker, springing his quarterback. He's played pretty pivotal right now so far in this first drive of the second half, running the football, and then a big block to spring his quarterback to get the first down. DJ
Hammond has been at quarterback from the outset for Air Force. Isaiah Sanders, we were told, probably would play as well, but we haven't seen Sanders yet. The offense has been humming, and obviously Hammond is up over 100. He's got 116 yards on 13 carries.
Yeah, I was expecting at some point, maybe in the first half, a little glimpse of Isaiah Sanders. I thought he's played well, extremely well so far this season. But right now, Donald Hammond has done a great job. He's been accurate down the football field. He's run it. We've had 2 balls hit the ground. One they lost, another one they were fortunate enough to get back. So he needs to clean that up. But other than that, he's played a pretty perfect game for an Air Force quarterback.
You see the drive here. Typical Air Force, 44 yards, 6 plays. Hammonds. Good job by New Mexico's defense to take away the pitch. Stanley Barnwell makes the hit. That is a first down, though, at the 45-yard line of New Mexico.
And this is the point we just talked about a few plays ago, Rich. I'm looking at the defense right now for New Mexico. They got hands on their hips. They look a little bit gassed. We said it at the beginning of the halftime or the second half. Over 300 yards of rushing given up that first half. I mean, they were run right through with the quarterback, fullback, running backs, whoever it may be. It's tough to muster energy, play and play it out.
Bordeaux straight ahead. And Bordeaux to the 43-yard line. And the other thing that this does, in typical Air Force fashion, is chew up clock. They're probably about 4.5 minutes on this drive, approaching 5 minutes of game clock.
Yeah, and the good thing, too, is you're keeping your defense off the field. It's funny, though, I mean, that for the offense for New Mexico, Amanda, I thought brought it up in the first half, it's starting to get a little colder. The sun's going down, temperatures dropping, and as an offense, especially a quarterback throwing the football, your arm starts to get a little bit tight. You got to stay moving. You got to stay throwing on the sidelines, especially if your defense is on the field for 8 minutes at a time.
Hammond is 2 of 3 in the air for 39 yards. Air Force this year has thrown it more than that, and that's a delay of game.
Yeah, the Air Force got a timeout.
Timeout.
Yeah, just before it. Flags hit the deck.
It's first.
On a 2nd and 8, Air Force on the move. We'll resume it after this. Early second half, Air Force a 21-17 lead over New Mexico. Friday night, 9 Eastern, New Mexico at home against Boise State. That's a 9 o'clock Eastern start. It's presented by Geico. Of course, Boise State had that dramatic comeback last night to beat Fresno State. And in the process, Brett Rippon is now the all-time leading yardage thrower in Mountain West history. Ryan Lindley and Max Hall back when BYU was part of the Mountain West.
Yeah, we had to see Brett Rippon. Rich was about a month ago, and he's just been his whole career. I mean, he's accurate, his anticipation throwing the football, and a huge comeback win. 17-3 they're losing last night to Fresno State, and that's a big win for Boise State to keep their hopes alive to make a conference championship.
8th play of the drive, 2nd and 8. Hammond open, Waguespack in for a touchdown, 43 yards. I mean, you can't get more wide open.
There's no one there. You see the safety. Safety's over here. He rolls the wrong way, and it's a busted coverage, Rich. There's no one there to cover him. Great job by Donald Hammond locating the safety, seeing that no one's covering his tight end, and that's an easy touchdown right there. I don't care if you're an option quarterback or a quarterback that throws the ball 50 times a game. You can't leave a tight end that wide open down the field.
That's a 95-yard drive. Cade Wagerspack, the junior tight end out of Gonzales, Louisiana. His longest drive of the year for the Falcons, who are on the board again. Air Force another touchdown and a 28-17 lead here midway third quarter. Time for our Chick-fil-A fan cam. Love it. There's the cow. There's the cadets. Now wait a minute. Where's Amanda?
All right, Rich. This is filed under stories I never thought I'd be talking about. The cadets right here have a really cool tradition, and it's called victory cheese. Now, what is this? Every time the Falcons score, they throw the cheese. I'm told to do it like this, right? I think I'm going to do it right. Yeah, okay. They throw the cheese onto the field. Now, the reason for this is because during the tailgates, they're only allowed to have what the government issues. There's usually extra cheese laying around. They bring it in, they toss it on the field, hence the victory cheese, Rich.
Well, now you Now Amanda on her resume can clearly state that she has thrown the cheese. At the academy. Elijah Lilly. Oh, look at that open field tackle. Made nicely at the 14-yard line. Brandon Lewis with the tackle. Only 28 days to go. The countdown to America's game. Army-Navy. Presented by USSAA on CBS Sports. Army-Navy game. And of course, Air Force early in the season wiped out Navy and then lost a tight one to Army. That was last week, 17-14. Let's see if New Mexico has an answer here. Teron Jones, remember that long interception that started that drive. Emmanuel Harris with the catch, and he's got 3 Air Force Falcons on him quickly. Parker Norn, one of the 3.
And right now for this offense, the key was heading into this game and talking with Calvin McGee, OC for New Mexico, is get the matchups with the safeties on their slot receivers. He thought that was going to be something they could take advantage of. It just hasn't happened so far.
Jones, little screen pass set up for Owens. Tyrone Owens makes 1, makes 2 miss. Ball's loose. Who's got it? Air Force has the football. I'm not sure what the call is, fumble and it's a fumble. It is a fumble. Kyle Johnson recovered. It was a late whistle and a late signal by the official. Here's a look.
A great screen call. It's going to be dependent, Rich, on when the knee was down. We'll get a couple more views of it. The great job by Air Force, though, jumping on it, seeing the ball hit the ground. And for New Mexico, they're hoping this is not a fumble. We'll get a good view here.
It looks like he's down.
It looks like maybe.
It's under further review.
Though it's not a clear.
It's not very clear, Rich, and we know in these circumstances, if it's not clear, the play will stand as called on the field.
Tough to see on that one. You lose sight of the body.
You saw there for a split second the ball come out a little early. I want to pause. So I think he's out. He looked like he rolled on an Air Force defender. So pause right there. Go a little bit further. This is going to be a tough call for the refs, but it looks like he was actually on an Air Force defender.
Does that knee ever touch?
Does not look like the knees touch right there. He's up, and the ball will start to move right there. Great job by Grant Thiel. You see his right arm just be able to poke it out. Previous possession had the interception, and right there, great job with the forced fumble, punching the football out. You see
Bob Davies pointing to the elbow, feeling that the elbow was down. And once an elbow does touch, the player is down. This is the most challenging replay we've had in this game.
So we're going to get a good view right here. Let's keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Bob Davie says elbow.
Right now, the ball is out. The elbow is not. You see the elbow is still off the ground. Ball is down. So it's definitely not the elbow. You would hope that his knee is down, but he's on a defender. I think it's a fumble, Rich. I think you got to go with fumble Air Force football here.
Original call holds a ton of weight, obviously, and ball was not blown dead. They ruled it a fumble. And here's the verdict.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Air Force.
So not confirmed and not overturned, and not enough evidence to go either way. So the original call holds weight and holds here.
And then a great play by Grantha. You see that right hand punch the ball out, had the big interception previous possession, and then right there, and then gives this offense great field position. They're rolling. Defense is tired. They're back on the field once again. They got to figure out a way to muster up some energy.
DJ Hammond will hand it off. Air Force keeping it simple, straight ahead. Daquan Baker makes the stop. Cole Fagan with the carry. So that's 2 turnovers in 3 snaps. Remember that long interception that started the 97-yard drive, and then the
another
fumble
thing
there.
Another thing, Rich, when we talk about facing a triple option team, is you have to take advantage of every opportunity you have on offense, because your possessions are going to get cut by 3 or 4 based on the fact time of possession. Right now, though, look at these stats. I mean, Air Force is dominating the ground right now. 361 yards, 443 total yards.
Saucier at the sticks, and it looks like he's got the first down inside the 11-yard line. The other impressive thing about Air Force, the interchangeable parts. Fagan and Berto, the dive backs. Mallard, the dive back, has a touchdown. Remsburg had that big run. Saucier now getting some time.
Keep going back to him. I mean, hey, Rich, you got to give the big 5 uglies up front some credit. I mean, they have done a tremendous job in this run game.
Inside handoff there. Saucier. Well, that offensive line, Parker Ferguson, Scott Haddock, the tackles, Nolan Laufenberg, Griffin Landrum, the guards, Connor Vicupitz, number 72, the center. That offensive line has been terrific.
Yeah, if I'm right now, I like what they're doing. They're wasting time. They're keeping their defense off the field. They're keeping the tired New Mexico State defense on the field.
And, you know, recently this has not been a good matchup for Air Force. They've lost 3 straight against New Mexico. Traditionally defends the run well. This is not a normal run. Hammond's throw open, caught. Wagaspack again. 9 yards for the score.
I want you to focus on the safety right here. Great job with the play action. You see all the motion going one way, not so fast. Goes back wide open. Does a great job getting low because he stayed under control on that deep cross route. Didn't overrun his quarterback or the pass. Goes down and makes a tremendous catch. But we talk about the safeties having their eyes in the right spot, Rich. Eyes are not in the right spot. Everyone flowed one way. Great play action. Easy touchdown pass.
2 second-half turnovers by New Mexico. 2 touchdown drives as a result for Air Force, who's flying high in Colorado Springs today.
It starts with the defense doing a great job. I like the screen call from New Mexico, though. Sets it up nicely, but just got to take care of the football. Great job popping the ball out, then jumping on top of it. Give their offense great field position, and then run. Utilize a quick play action fake. Get the running quarterback on a little bit of a bootleg, and you get the tight end wide open for an easy touchdown.
Second turnover of the half, and Air Force has stretched their lead. 35-17. The sun is gone. There was a bright sunny first half, which warmed this place to low 50s. Now that the sun is gone, temperatures are dropping. Cadets staying warm though. This is Elijah Lilly, nowhere to go. And he's bounced at the 12-yard line. Let's take a look at this week's Where Are They Now, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Long line of dynamite quarterbacks at the academy, and Sean Carney belongs on that list. From 04 to 07, 62% of his passes he completed. Look at the passing yardage, most in school history. Currently a C-17 pilot at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Now New Mexico will try to move it without giving the football up. Vigilant to the right side. Sometimes when you're trailing Air Force at this point of the game, you can be down by 2 touchdowns or 17 points or whatever, and it feels like 30.
Well, the issue is, I mean, how many more possessions can you realistically have the rest of this game? So you're going to have to start taking some shots. Then at some point, too, you may have to try to go on 4th down a couple times and put field positions that you don't want to, based on the fact that Air Force is just eating up this clock right now.
Jones, a quick flick. That's Marcus Williams, the tight end. Hops out of bounds. They'll mark him short of the 1st down. He had to get to the 21. He went out at the 19.
This may be one of those chances. I know it's only the 3rd quarter, Rich, but you're down 35-17. Your defense has had no answer so far this half. This may be, even at your own 20-yard line, this may be 4-down territory just to keep your defense off the field.
They're down 2. Jones is in trouble, and it's not going to be 4th down and 2. It's going to be about 4th down and 7. Jordan Jackson, Kyle Johnson haul him down.
It's a great job. You see the zone read as a defensive lineman. You want to keep your shoulders square, make the quarterback guess a little bit. And right there, Sharon Jones guessed wrong, and Jordan Jackson did a great job staying home, keeping his eyes on the QB, and not even allowing the offense to go for it on 4th down.
Tyson Dyer in the punt. Andrew Smith is deep at his own 40-yard line. That's a really good punt. That's a long punt. That's a monster punt. Look at this thing. It's still rolling to the 1-yard line. My goodness. That's an 84-yard punt by Tyson Dyer, the 24-year-old Australian.
That's a bomb. That's how you change field position right there. I mean, that thing, that's a bad job on the punt return. Yet you have to be able to get underneath that and fair catch it and not allow that ball to roll back to the 1-yard line.
Well, DJ Hammond, remember, had that ankle injury against San Diego State. Huge game early in the season.
And he's done a great job. 3 total touchdowns. He's making the right decisions, taking care of the football besides the 1 fumble in the 1st quarter. Also see a little QB dive right here. Get a couple yards, be able to get some breather room.
Hammond back in the starting position. Lost the ball, and it's picked up. Burrell, it's a touchdown. Unbelievable. After the longest punt in New Mexico history of 84 yards, the ball pops loose. Burrell picks it up, and the Lobos have a score.
And we just talked about protecting the football. He had the fumble in the 1st quarter, no fumble later that they recovered. Anticipating the quarterback sneak to be able to gain a couple of yards. You have to wrap that thing up, especially with a lot of bodies around you. We'll see now if New Mexico will take advantage of this momentum.
Chance to draw within 11. Well, Burrell collects the touchdown, but remember the punt by the Aussie, Tyson Dyer. Jalen Burrell, the senior out of Riverside, picked up the loose ball in the end zone. And Air Force trying to collect themselves. You see DJ Hammond. That ball just popped right out. High kick. Saucier might be able to return this. Nope, fair catch. Called for right at the goal line.
Bring it out close right there.
Yeah, bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, let's see if that play right there gave this defense a little bit of excitement, a little light under their butt a little bit, because they have not done much, especially in the second half. The energy level's a little bit low. If they can get, Rich, if they can get a 3-and-out right now, I think we can start to maybe see this game turn around in favor of New Mexico going forward.
Cole Fagan in the backfield. And they give it to Fagan, and he blasts his way for a 13-yard pickup. Michael Sewell Jr. made the stop.
Yeah, that's how you eliminate any kind of possible good feelings for the defense. Once again, the left side of the offensive line doing a great job, creating just enough of a crease for Cole Fagan to take advantage and get the first down.
He is just a wrecking ball in cleats.
All right, 6'1", 230, strong lower half. And like I said, he didn't play the first half, so he's rested while this defense is a little tired after defending this triple option for almost 3 quarters now.
His dad, Kevin, played in the NFL, most notably the San Francisco 49ers. There's a pitch. There's that receiver around, and it's Smith, Andrew Smith. That's been a good play for Air Force today. It's the 3rd time they've run it.
Yeah, and I want to focus on the Hammond and his execution right here. Great job, and then just a quick flick right there. And that's difficult to do, especially with your left hand. I know they practice it, they play it all the time, but to be able to pitch the ball that accurate with your left hand, your non-dominant hand, to be able to keep your receiver in stride, that's the key. Keep them in stride. Don't make them hold up at all. That way they can get their head going downhill, be able to get the first down.
Clock rolling. Air Force moving the football. Fagan again. And he didn't go down off the initial hit. That's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he ends up with a 4 or 5-yard pickup. Brandon Shook made the stop for New Mexico.
And when we talked to Kevin Cosgrove, the goal was stop Cole Fagan, and we saw the beginning of this game, he was not going to be starting it. Who knew if he was going to be able to play? They got to figure it out. But the thing is, the difficulty now with this Air Force offense, the new ability to throw the football down the field, because what are the safeties supposed to do? If you're too far downhill, we've seen shots taken offensively, and if you play back, they're going to continue to get these 4 to 5 yards in the run game.
400 yards of total offense right now, and Air Force has only thrown it 5 times. They're 4 of 5 for 91 yards.
Rich,
let me amend that. It's 400 yards of rushing, 491 yards of total offense.
Rich, we've been in this situation a couple times now. 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, around the 40-yard line. Air Force has run the football. New Mexico's been extremely downhill. They've shut down that play. Listen, I said it last time they were in this situation. Maybe take a shot downfield.
Option, and Hammond is close, and a little help from Fagan. It looked like may have pushed him across to get the first down, and he's got it.
Yeah, good job getting the first down, and then finishing the quarter with the ball in your hand too. It just keeps turning. It keeps turning. It keeps turning. That's going to be the goal right now going forward for this Air Force offense. Waste clock. Don't be in any kind of hurry. Let the clock is your best friend right now. Just continue to get first downs on the ground.
Turnovers a huge part of a 3rd quarter. 2 turnovers by New Mexico, 2 scores by Air Force. Air Force coughed it up. New Mexico scored. On to the 4th we go. (35-24) Air Force on top of New Mexico. Let's check in with Amanda Balionis.
Thanks, Rich. 35-24, but maybe the most important number today, at least for our crew, is 28. That's right. It is Mr. Aaron Murray's birthday today, and I'm going to save you my terrible voice. I won't sing to you, Aaron, but is it a coincidence that today is also National Vanilla Cupcake Day? I know how much you love your desserts. I think not. So we have some cupcakes that are being sent up to you, and of course, Veterans Day weekend, they're patriotic as well. So happy birthday. Enjoy your cupcakes. This looks way more appetizing than victory cheese.
Well, okay, nicely done. And it just happens. Here they are. They have arrived. Happy birthday, partner.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Little does Rich know that I'm actually getting both of these cupcakes.
No.
I get both. It's my birthday. I get what I want.
You get one, but we have another birthday on the crew. Jason Like, who is our camera 2 operator, also has a birthday. So one for you, one for Jason. And back to work we go. Ball's on the turf, and it's scooped up there. And New Mexico has the football. Unbelievable. That was recovered by Rashawn Epting.
We just talked about it, Rich, the third quarter, all the turnovers that occurred. Yep, the ball is definitely out right there. Great job putting the shoulder pad right on the football. Getting the turnover right there, Michael Sewell Jr. Let's see this offense. Can they take advantage now? It's still a ball game. Plenty of ball game left to play. 35-24. Turnovers. Rich, we talk about all the time. This is what kills football teams. Both of them have had their share so far in this game.
And guess who's back in at quarterback? Colton Gerhardt is back in. And so now New Mexico is down 11. Gerhardt started, went the first 2 series. Sharon Jones then took over, had some moments. But here now, it's Gerhardt with the football at the 34-yard line.
It is an interesting decision by Bob Davie and his staff. I mean, this is a quarterback who hasn't seen any action since the first quarter. It's a little cold. He's been sitting on the sideline. And Rich, he isn't the thrower of the two. If you had to pick the two quarterbacks, who can lead me in the fourth quarter throwing the football, it would have to be Sharon Jones. Colton Gerhardt's more of the runner, the nitty-gritty quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see if they open it up at all with this offense with them and see if he can make plays with his arms going forward.
Fagan right now shaking his head. It's hard to pry the ball loose from Fagan. But New Mexico has done it, and they're faced with 3rd down and 3 here. Gerhardt had that sprained foot. It slowed him down a bit. And on the carry, that's not going to get the first down. Micah Capra made the stop. This could be a 4th down and 2. You were talking 4-down territory on the last drive for New Mexico. And what do you think here?
No, I think that was when it was 35-17. I think right now it's a 2-score game. You have to punt the ball. Hope once again, maybe get another 80-yard punt, pin him back at the 1-yard line and see what happens. And right now for Air Force, I'm telling my punt returner, give it a little bit of room, maybe another 5 or 10 yards on top of what you think, because you can't let what happened last punt happen once again.
All right, the Aussie Boomer is back on. Tyson Dyer. That 84-yard punt, we told you it's the longest in New Mexico history. Good fair catch there. And as you saw on that note, it's the longest one in FBS this year. 13 minutes left. This has been a fun ball game and a lot left here in the Mountain West. New Mexico Lobos trying to hang in there here at Air Force. Coming up next, we go to the American, and a big one in the American. Houston trying to inch closer to a conference championship game appearance. They host Temple. That's not an easy game for either team. Temple at Houston is coming up. The CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And you can see Houston atop the West and Temple right behind UCF in the East.
UCF, man, they just continue to roll. The team, it's been a long time since we've seen a loss in that column for UCF. It's going to be interesting, though. Houston's a very good football team. If they match up at the end of the season, it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Play action. Hammonds fires it to the sideline, and it's caught there. That's Marcus Bennett. Bennett gets a seam. Bennett's inside New Mexico territory. The senior out of Marietta, Georgia, 54 yards.
And I want to see this throw is on an absolute rope. I mean, look at that ball. Had some juice behind it. And it's a great job one-on-one on the outside. Marcus Bennett does a great job. You see him dip the hips, come back to the football. And the throw, I tell you what, Rich, that ball had some fire on it. Almost put it right through his helmet. Great job on the run. Fitting it pretty much right over the defender's arm. Great catch, and then great turn up. Yards after catch is awesome.
It's a tight window.
Yeah, when you throw a 99 mile per hour fastball like that one right there, you can fit into some windows.
Bijan Parker on his way to the sideline. DJ Hammond, by the way, is now 5 of 6, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Our first down line is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. We're in Colorado Springs. Night is falling. Temperatures are dropping. Back and forth, Air Force and New Mexico have gone. It's an 11-point game right now. And Air Force is knocking on the door just outside of the red zone at the 21-yard line of New Mexico.
And you see 25 seconds to go on the play clock. They're going to continue to milk this right now. I mean, this is not a comfortable lead, 35-24, where you feel very good right now for Air Force. Milk the clock, get a couple more first downs, hopefully put 7 points on the board. Then you can kind of take a little bit of a breather.
Fagan, exclusive in the second half, man. You run into Fagan, you run into a wall. Daquan Baker, the senior linebacker, who is 6'2", 250.
Yeah, he's 250, but Cole Fagan's 230, and he's running full steam ahead. I'll defend Daquan Baker a little bit there. He was just getting off a block, had a guy on his leg, so he kind of fell over, but Cole Fagan, full steam ahead. You give him about 5-6 yards to get things turning. I think he'd run over anyone right now. And those numbers right there, 60 plus yards rushing, that is just in a little over a quarter of action.
Hammond is hit, spins off that hit, closes in on a first down. It's a gain of 3. Looks like he's a yard shy. It should bring up third down. Third down's not been a good down for Air Force.
Yeah, they may measure this one. They're going to say third down right here, but 3rd and 1. I know the last time they had a QB sneak, it turned into a fumble for 7 points for the defense, but right now it's either going to be a fullback dive or a little quarterback sneak, and even if you don't get it, this is definitely an easy 4-down territory for the Falcons.
Remember, he had that great game against Navy where he threw it and ran it for a ton of yardage straight ahead, and the ball doesn't pop loose on this one.
You saw right there, Rich, as soon as he got it, 2 hands over the football, making sure he secures it. And don't try to fight for any extra yards. Get the first down, get down, and most importantly, like we said, protect the football.
And you saw before that play, Troy Calhoun, the Air Force head coach, running down the sideline, waving his arm. He wanted that play. He wanted the clock started once the ball was spotted. He wants to eat as much time off this clock as he can.
Yeah, but most importantly, if you get 7 points on this drive and eat up significant clock, you're really making it tough for this offense for New Mexico to make any kind of comeback.
Fagan, quick turn to the left, dives for the goal line, ball's out, but he was down. For as big as he is and as powerful as he is, he makes a quick adjustment so well when he approaches the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you see right there, ball, the ground can't cause a fumble, so it's a good call by the refs. Right here you'll see, yep, he's down. The issue, though, is these extra yards. We saw it with the fumble. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, but sometimes he can get in trouble trying to get an extra 1 or 2 yards and not taking extra care of the football.
Fagan gets it, blasts into the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's a full day's work in a quarter and a half for Fagan.
A quarter and a half, has about 70, close to 80 yards, a touchdown. But once again, you cannot give enough credit to the offensive line. They're doing a great job. They pretty much blew down the 3 technique, the nose guard, the linebacker. Everyone got smashed into the inside and left a great hole for Cole Fagan to get in there for the touchdown.
That's a great shot. You saw Fagan with the eye black, the rubber from the field turf on his face, and that look from his head coach of approval, like, yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, it's great to get a healthy Cole Fagan. Missed the first half. He's feeling juiced. Taking advantage of his offensive line with a great touchdown right there.
(42-24) Air Force on top. Aaron Murray inhaled his birthday cupcake. That's Jason Like on camera too. He's got his for dessert. And
come on, Jason. I'm already on the second one. There you go.
There we are.
Hey, it's a good cupcake.
And the fact that it's Veterans Weekend, you see the flag on the cupcake. The Cupcake Doctor here in Colorado Springs is owned and operated by a veteran. So
well, I tell you what, I've had a lot of cupcakes in my day, Rich. That's up there. I could use about 3 more right now.
And we're not talking about your non-conference opponents at Georgia, right?
No, we're not talking about
all right.
The UMass that they play next week.
Air Force will kick it off. New Mexico now with 10 minutes left, down 42-24. And we check in with Amanda Balionis. Amanda?
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Coach Davie has so much respect for these Air Force students and especially these football players. He said, you know, these student athletes are signing up to protect this country, very aware that their life will take them where they're needed to protect America. And he said, you know, that's a really unique thing to find in young men and women who understand what that commitment means. He goes, now take that commitment and translate that kind of heart to every single snap on the football field. He said, you just cannot really emulate that anywhere else.
You know, Amanda and Aaron, when you talk to Bob Davie, and we've had an opportunity covering the Mountain West to do that, perspective, just like he gave you, he always has such a terrific perspective about the game. And maybe that's because he's coached at the very highest level at Notre Dame. He was a broadcaster for 10 years, so he had a chance to look from the outside in as well. And now back at New Mexico.
Yeah, it's been a tough task for them. I think we were talking about a little bit earlier, Rich. This offense, I mean, to be able to change your identity in a year, it takes time. You have to recruit to that type of offense. You got to get everyone on the same page. And it's just not something that's going to happen overnight. And talking with Bob Davie about this offense, the goal was to be about 70% spread, 30% of that triple option that we saw last season. But then as all of a sudden quarterbacks start to go down, they had to get away from the option and just be more of a passing attack.
Gerhardt will throw it into traffic and to Anselm Ume, who had that great catch and run in the first half. That, speaking of tight windows.
Yeah, that was a tight window. Cover 2, you have the corner. Needs to do a better job with his eyes. That's the issue. He stared down the corner route, needs to look down the hitch, get the corner to bite down, and then take advantage.
Vigilant to the left side. We asked Bob Davie about changing from the triple option to the spread attack, and what was the biggest challenge? Was it offensive linemen? Did you have to learn how to block? Was it your quarterbacks? And he said it was the receivers. The biggest adjustment was finding receivers or teaching his receivers to run exact routes and to adjust to coverages, something they didn't have to do in the triple option. And Gerhardt's going down at the 45-yard line. Micah Capra on the sack.
Yeah, great job. Only 11 sacks heading into this game, but they knew Air Force had to bring the pressure all night long. Great job, the extension with the arms, getting into the offensive lineman's chest, and then disengaging to get the sack. Great job. But the issue is, too, though, with Colton Gerhardt at quarterback, and the coaching staff let us know, sometimes he'll hitch too many times. So hitch 1, 2, 3, 4 times. He needs to learn just to let it rip and trust his receivers.
Blitz comes. Gerhardt's in trouble, and he goes down again. Back at the 35-yard line. Jordan Jackson with the sack.
And once again, pressure, pressure, pressure. It has been the theme of this defense. And a great job getting Colin Gerhardt off his position, make him move outside the pocket, and then take advantage from there. Like we said, Rich, only 11 sacks heading into tonight's ball game. I think they've had 3 or 4 so far tonight. They've done a great job with these exotic blitzes.
Another booming punt. This one's going to roll into the end zone. That's a 64-yarder. He had an 84-yarder earlier in the half. Tyson Dyer, the Aussie, the Lobo. DJ Hammond in Air Force, a 42-24 lead, 7:14 left in this ball game. And here's his day so far.
It's been tremendous, Rich. He's done a great job, obviously, running the football, taking advantage of that. But throwing the football has been extremely impressive. Him locating receivers down the field. And you talk to the receivers, the tight ends for Air Force, they all say the same thing. He has a rocket for an arm. The stats are awesome. He's done a great job all day. You see the rushing, 128, 145 yards, passing, 2 or 3 total touchdowns. The issue is obviously the fumbles. He needs to clean that up going forward if this team wants to make a bowl game and get those 2 more wins if they do end up finishing this one tonight.
From the 20, it's pretty simple right now. It's Cole Fagan, and he busts it out to the 25-yard line.
I thought this might be an opportunity right now to possibly put Isaiah Sanders in the football game, Rich. I mean, we waited all week. I mean, you and I didn't know. I don't think anyone knew, besides maybe these quarterbacks and a few guys on the offense, who was going to be the starter on that first snap. And Donald Hammond definitely took advantage of his opportunity to be the guy tonight, but was still looking forward to seeing possibly Sanders at some point, maybe even now at the end of the game, just to get him some reps, keep him going, and keep his rhythm within this offense.
Fagan, and he slams it out to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 6. And New Mexico right now can't get this football back.
It's just they're worn out, Rich. I mean, they've been run through this entire football game. They're beat up. They're exhausted. They've been out there for a long, long time, and it's not like they're defending a pass game. I mean, they're defending offensive linemen, fullbacks, 230-pound fullbacks coming downhill play after play. I mean, it's like a heavyweight fight, and you're just getting beat up.
Fagan straight ahead here to the 37-yard line. Second down and 6.
Yeah, right now it's tough too, Rich. We talk about this defense being worn out. The altitude, it really does affect you if you're not used to it. I mean, that's why the Olympians come here to Colorado Springs to train the high altitude, and it just makes you a better athlete, better prepared for these type of games.
Fagan. Our first down line brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Now, there was a lot of concern coming into this one. Remember last week against Army, a stunt by Army injured the mascot for Air Force, and here she is. Here is Aurora, who is 22, and we are happy to report the wing is fine. She made it back on the charter. They actually gave her own seat on the way back. Aaron, I know you met Aurora yesterday.
Yeah,
she remembers you.
She remembers me. She likes me a lot better than Amanda. Amanda is not, is a little scared of birds. But it's good to know that she's doing great. And yeah, man, I think she got some stuff about it as well.
I think she likes you because you have cupcake breath right now.
Yes, I do have. I've ate both cupcakes, so I think she can sense the cupcakes on my mouth.
Yeah, Amanda, you had a good time yesterday too. Well, albeit from a distance, right?
Exactly. As long as I'm far away, I can really appreciate the beauty of Aurora and the other Falcons. But it was funny to talk to Coach Calhoun about this after we knew that she was going to be okay. And I said, "Were you surprised by all of the social media attention this story got?" And he said, "Well, I don't know normally pay attention to that, but it was interesting to offer Aurora a spot on our charter. It's the first time I've ever had a bird take one of those spots on the seat, he said, but it was open. She was very well behaved, and we all appreciated it.
And you know what? And the only issue was she wasn't happy with what they served as a meal. Quail is usually her choice. We watched her devour one yesterday while she was flying around the stadium.
It's like when Uga would travel with us at University of Georgia. He'd get first class. You know, he'd sit in the front seat. He'd live in the life, eating Burger King and hamburgers and all the other good stuff, and making it a stinky trip for the rest of the players.
This is a little more imposing than Uga, I think. And a little less drool. Hey, we thank you for coming up, Aurora. You take care. Great to see you back in action and here at an Air Force game. Air Force keeping it on the ground. You know, sometimes when you're doing a broadcast, you get a celebrity who comes to the booth. That's the first Falcon that I've had to visit the booth. Pretty impressive.
You know, it was impressive. Yesterday we got out here a little bit early, was out on the field and watching the birds fly around, watching them, you said, devour, what was it, the quail. And I asked her, can I take a picture with the bird as he's in the quail? Because I know with my dogs at home, I don't get near them when they're eating. They don't like that, so I didn't want the bird to kind of knock my eye out. But like you said, Rich, great stuff with what they could do here to make sure the bird's healthy and good to go.
And you see there are other Falcons that are part of the program here. Looks like a timeout.
Timeout.
2.5 minutes
Air
left.
Force, they're second.
This was yesterday. That's the quail. Look out. Yeah, that's impressive.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by The Exchange, welcoming home all honorably discharged veterans to their online shopping benefit. By Grow with Google, a proud supporter of veterans, military service members, and their families. And by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Go get rewarded with Best Western.
On this Veterans Weekend, real honor to be here at the Academy at Air Force. Cadets in a good mood right now. It should be a fun Saturday night here in Colorado Springs. Their Falcons are flying right now, 42-24, the lead over New Mexico. We talked about at the outset, if you win this game in your Air Force, maybe this jumpstarts you towards bowl eligibility, because there's 2 more games left. They'll need to win both of those to get to a bowl game.
Yeah, and both games, Rich, are very winnable. Obviously, at Wyoming, a good team, very good defensively. Offense have had their moments this year. And then Colorado State, which you and I will be at, I believe it's on Thanksgiving?
It is
it's
Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving Day, so we'll be back here for that game. So 2 very winnable games to get this team to 6-6. Like you said, that magic number 6 gets you into a bowl game.
I don't think we'll be having quail that day, but Aurora and her Falcon friends might. Colin Parton with the carry to the 40-yard line. Parton getting his first carry of the game. Here's that Air Force schedule. So a win now, they're 4-6. You got to be 6-6 to be bowl eligible. Going on the road and beating Wyoming's not easy.
Nope.
But that should be a fun game. And then Colorado State comes in here. It's been a disappointing year for the Rams, and that's certainly in this state a nice rivalry game to finish things.
Yeah, and we get to see actually last year when Air Force played Colorado State. Colorado State had no answers for the triple option, pretty much ran right through them last year at Colorado State. Now they welcome them here at this stadium. So you have to feel pretty confident after this win tonight, the way that your defense is playing and the way your offense is kind of dominating right now. But the big thing is Rich, going forward, my question is for defenses, because you have to play balance when you play a triple option attack. How do you stop a team that now all of a sudden can pass the ball vertically down the field? It's tough on defenses.
And can pass the ball creatively.
Yes.
And artistically, which are 2 words you never used about Air Force's passing attack. Both DJ Hammond and Isaiah Sanders can throw it in tight windows. They can go through progressions. This is a really nice addition to the Air Force attack. On a pitch here, running out of bounds, Josh Stoner. You know, we showed the other Falcons that are here. I asked the trainer yesterday, do they have a little Falcon house that they live in together and hang out? And they said, no.
It would be a brawl.
It would be a brawl.
It would be a big brawl.
And they would kill each other. So they have separate living quarters, these Falcons.
They're living the life, eating quail.
Yes.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
They're not in
living quarters.
They're not into the teammate thing.
No.
They're every Falcon out for their own quail.
They fly solo, that's for sure.
That's very nice.
Not like the Falcons we're seeing on the field today. They've played extremely well as a unit, both offensively and defensively.
That's a nice touch by you there. On 1st and 10, and it looks like a timeout.
Timeout. Air Force, their final. It will be 30 seconds.
And I think they just had too many players on the field.
And they didn't want to take the penalty.
Yeah.
And Troy Calhoun, you know, everybody timeout, they want to walk to the sideline, and you saw Calhoun saying, no, stay out there. Just snap it. Now the playoff picture, you know, coming up, the college football playoff is something obviously it'll be affected by games today in the standings. Everybody's kind of got their final four, or at least where they think each team should be. Gerhardt trying to get out of bounds, and he's hit and dropped at the 38-yard line. Clock does not stop, and that should do it. Troy Calhoun and Air Force are still alive in a hunt for a bowl game. For Bob Davie in New Mexico, a tough afternoon. The Cadets are happy, and Air Force a convincing win, 42-24 over the New Mexico Lobos. So many close losses for Air Force this year. Nice to get a win at home. It draws them even with Wyoming at 4-6. You get to 6-6, and you should be bowling.
And you look at the rest of the schedule, too. We saw Wyoming, Colorado State. All of a sudden, you jump from being second to last in the conference. You win out. You have an opportunity to be number 3 behind Utah State and Boise State. I mean, those are 2 good football teams, not just in the Mountain West, but in this entire country. So that's something to take pride in, too, if you're Air Force. 1, making a bowl game, and 3, being the number 3 team in your division as well.
Now, this is the tradition of an Air Force game is the players go over towards the Cadets for the playing of the alma mater. I'll tell you one nice thing here. It looks like Bob Davie is bringing his New Mexico team over for the alma mater as well. And that's a very classy thing by the New Mexico team and coach. Air Force gets their win, and the Cadets have got a Saturday night off in Colorado Springs. Look at that. Everybody's ready for that.
Oh, look at them sprinting out there. They're ready to go celebrate. I mean, that's a big win. It's a great win. It's a dominant one. And I think it was a lot of fun for everyone to watch. So they're ready to take the party somewhere else, though.
I don't think they're due back in the barracks until tomorrow morning. All right, let's check down below with Amanda. She's with Troy Calhoun.
I am, Coach. We've talked about how many close losses you've had this season. Today, you guys get a big win in a big way at home. What does it say about your team?
Yeah, it was a good win. Obviously, we made some mistakes that I think are fixable, and we need to get them corrected, specifically the fumbles. And, you know, those are things that we take a lot of pride in, but we didn't do that well today. But again, we'll go back to work and look forward to being able to go hit the practice field again.
A lot of things still at stake for you guys. This keeps you in the contention for having a bowl game. So what are you going to go back to work, and what's the message going to be to your team after this win?
Well, just fundamentals. You know, I think that's one of the things we like to play really, really well fundamentally. Sometimes we play teams that maybe are bigger or faster. I mean, that's part of football. But I thought defensively we were really, really solid, especially the second half.
This is a really special place here to win here in front of these cadets, in front of these crazy fans who did not leave their seats the entire game. What does it mean?
Well, it's a remarkable place. You're at the United States Air Force Academy, and it makes you realize some of the possibilities that are here. And, you know, obviously there's some things we need to do, I mean, just to help with the stadium and some of the other aspects, but hopefully those are on the horizon and real soon, too.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Rich?
All right, that's impressive stuff. And what a day for all of us here at CBS Sports to be a part of a Veterans Day weekend at the Academy. Air Force beats New Mexico. For Aaron Murray, Amanda Balionis, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's send it to Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, and Christian Fourier in New York. Guys?
The image of all those young kids, those soldiers, running out because they get a Saturday night, and it comes off a 42-24 home win. That's awesome stuff. Great job by our crew out there here on CBS Sports Network in Colorado Springs. Brent Stover, Christian Fourier, Kevin Carter. Good win, obviously, for Air Force. Their 4th of the season, their 2nd inside the Mountain West.
Just career highs for Donald Hammond in this offensive Air Force. But you heard Troy Calhoun. He's worried about the little things. He's worried about their fundamental differences and how they can really help themselves late in the year. We see him running the option. This is assignment football. He gets downhill in a hurry. Hammond does a great job of dispersing the ball, and it seemed like everything worked out just right today, but there were still just a few of those careless mistakes here, but you see great execution.
Yeah, they fought through some adversity during this game because New Mexico really made it hard for them, especially you know, into the first half. But they did what they're supposed to do. Like, they run the football. They had a hard time. They're 14th in the nation running the football, and they're not happy with that. They're upset about that. They want to be top 3 every single year, so they went crazy. Hammond had a great day throwing the football, 145 yards, 5 of 6. I mean, to me, that's a career year for most anyone from these naval academies when it comes to, you know, running the option. Once they got that option running, it opened up that passing game, and you saw right there in the highlights, man, just guys wide open running down the field.
But I love the counterpoint of Troy Calhoun, coming back to those little things that they've done wrong in this game. This is the reason that New Mexico was actually able to stay in this game as much as they were, because of the turnovers that they were basically putting the ball on the turf, giving them opportunities. That's definitely a true mark of a good team that's going to finish the season the right way.
A first time in the FBS in over a year that a team has 4 guys on the same day rush for at least 75 yards. That's what Air Force did today, led by Donald Hammond, who had 136 on the ground. In total, 623 yards of offense in the win for Air Force.